All right, great challenge on the road, and division opponent. Excited about these opportunities, these rivalry games when you're going against division opponents. Obviously, they're atop the division right now, playing really good football. I think they're +7 turnover margin, doing a nice job taking it away. They're playing very well on the offensive side, and then they always play great on special teams. So, really good players. Coaches I have a ton of respect for. So, it's division football. It's AFC North. We know what to expect. But with that, I'll take any questions.
Decided if Shedeur is going to be your number 2 active quarterback for this weekend yet?
Well, first I'd tell you is the Joe trade took us by surprise. That was not something that we saw coming. They called us, and that's it happened very fast and happened not too long ago. So still working through all roster type of things. I always have to be mindful of our players and our players' development, and I want to make sure that I'm always doing what's best for our players and, of course, our team. But, with young players, I'm always thinking about last week making the change to Dylan. You have to think long and hard about that because these are young players that you're so invested in their development. So I'll let the week play out and make a decision later on that.
What might be the drawback to doing something like that?
Yeah, I trust in all of our players. I trust in their ability and those type of things. I just always want to set our guys up for success, bottom line.
So, like Monday afternoon, you didn't plan on trading Joe Flacco?
No.
Why did it happen, though? Why didn't you trade him?
Well, obviously AB makes those decisions. I trust AB. We talk about every decision we make. They wanted Joe. They made the phone call. Obviously, it gives Joe an opportunity to go play again. But I trust in our decisions.
Kevin, explain to the fans all the training camp reps devoted to Flacco and Pickett. Why wasn't it a waste of time, as it turns out? It's October and neither is here.
Well, there's a lot of unknowns in football and in sports. You can't always predict injuries. You can't predict trades, those type of things. So that's sports.
Without Joe, do you feel like there's a leadership void in that young room that you have a quarterback?
Yeah, it's a young room, but I believe in those guys that they're all working very hard. Obviously, Bailey's the elder statesman right now, but with Deshaun's in there, can provide great insight to the young guys, and I trust in Coach Musgrave, Coach Reese, those type of things.
About making that deal. Mm-hmm. What's the concern level that you're trading Joe to a division rival that needs a starting quarterback?
Yeah, I think we talked through all those things. I would let Andrew speak to that. I don't want to speak for him, but I trust in his decisions.
You talked about how Dylan had received some reps with the starting offense the first 4 weeks of the regular season, even though he was quarterback too. Mm-hmm. So this week, do you plan to split some like those kind of last reps between Shedeur and Bailey, and then make a decision based on how they handle everything during the season?
Need to work through it all, Daniel. Again, really like the guys we have. We just got to work through all of it.
I think you'll have 3 quarterbacks on the active roster for Sunday, so you can have one as the emergency guy.
We'll see. I'm not sure yet.
Is that as simple as, if you do add 3, is it just Bailey, or would you guys potentially look at outside options?
Yeah, again, I would just say it's early in the week, early in the process.
Could you clarify the rule this year, in fact, and reverted so that if you do activate a third quarterback, he has to be on the active roster? You can't just elevate him from the practice
I'm
squad?
fairly certain that's the rule, yeah.
So you have to do that by Friday?
Yeah, I'm not positive.
Now we're in week 6. His workouts, have they changed? Have they ramped up? Where is he in relation to maybe where he was before his?
Yeah, he's doing an excellent job with his rehab. I know we haven't seen him as part of the throwing process with the team and those type of things, but he's working very hard.
Is he with his people, or is he working with your medical?
With us, yeah.
Do you foresee a time where he could get on the field this season?
Yeah, I understand the question, but I'm so focused on this week, Mary Kay.
A lot of videos where, and I realize posting a video and looking good doing that versus actually being in a practice football setting are two different things, but he seems to be posting a lot of stuff to say, hey, physically I'm back together and really close to being ready to go. So what doesn't match up there?
He's working very hard. He's doing a great job in the meeting room. He's doing a great job in rehab. I'm not so concerned about what our guys are posting on social media, but maybe that's just me.
Seen him, just in photos and just in other places here and there, really kind of taking Dylan under his wing and really taking Shador under his wing. How has that been helpful to you guys? And did that factor in at all into this whole trade by any stretch of the imagination?
Yeah, I wouldn't comment on that, Mary Kay, other than to say he's been a great teammate from the jump, like I've told you guys, in every quarterback meeting. And all those guys, when you're in that room, everybody's preparing, working hard, working together. So he's doing a great job there.
Waiting it out until before you decide if he's going to be two or not. I guess, what do you need to see from him this week? Without Joe in that room, what are you hoping to see?
Again, I wouldn't say there's one thing you need to see. I just, in my role, I have to do what's best for our players, our team, and I'm very, very invested in our player development, our young players' development, our quarterback development. So any decision I make, I want to just make sure that I'm doing what's right for our players.
I guess if it does end up being Shador who's your quarterback too, just what have you seen from him to this point behind the scenes and the work that he's put in, and especially as you sort of go, if that was the case, you go to two rookies.
I'm really, really pleased with our young guys and how they work. This is not a group that you have to prod into doing extra, whether that's in the weight room, in the meeting room, out on the fields. We are really pushing these guys to improve, and I see that from Shador. I see that from all these young guys, which is the fun part for us as coaches, to see a lot of the work that you're putting in that's showing up in how these guys are performing.
Kevin, how do you perform when you receive the call that you've got?
Yeah, it's a focus for us as a football team to play better on offense. Obviously, to play better on offense, we need contributions from everybody. So that's my job. That's our coach's job. That's obviously our players' job to make sure that we're doing our best in those areas.
Did you feel the need to address your veteran players about this trade and to convince them that this is the best interest of the team?
Yeah, I talk to our veterans every day, and I think they understand what's in front of us and what's important.
Were you disappointed with the way it ended for Flacco?
Joe and I had a lot of conversations. I'll keep those private. Obviously, he's somebody that we in this building think very highly of, think highly of the person, think highly of the player. Disappointed in where we are, as a team, of course, but, hopeful for him. But really our focus turns into what's in front of us, which is, Steeler Week.
Was Joe in here yesterday, or was he on
Yes.
the road when he
Was here.
So you guys.
Okay, so now you go to Pittsburgh with two rookie quarterbacks who've never won a game. Do you think this could be a case of ignorance is bliss? They go there not knowing the history of this team losing in Pittsburgh?
Thanks, Tony. Honestly, it's the game of football. It's the past doesn't really matter. What's in front of you matters.
Kevin, what's next for Dylan, coming off of that start, obviously positives and negatives, but what's next for him and also too, this offense getting you guys above that 17-point plateau you
Yeah.
stuck on?
I think there's certainly growth with players throughout a season. And obviously when you're talking about a quarterback, you play in your first game on the road or, internationally, if you will, against a very good team. Your second game is on the road in the division against a very good team. So these are all great challenges for young players, and to understand that you're trying to have incremental improvement week to week, and that will only come by the nature of the turns and the reps that you get.
Everyone, when we ask you about having so many rookies, but what are the challenges, whether it's during the week or game day, from having so many young guys that you're counting on?
Yeah, the thing I would tell you, Scott, is we're counting on a lot of young guys. A lot of young guys are playing, but they're not playing like rookies. These guys are very mature. They work very hard. So I know what it might say on the roster in terms of experience for them, but we trust them. They've put in the work, and a lot of these guys are playing good football, but they're going to continue to get better. I expect all these guys to continue to get better.
Did you not prefer a bye after this London game? Was it your, the team's idea to suggest?
Yeah, you can't. You don't automatically get one. In the past, you used to.
Would you have preferred the
Doesn't
bye?
matter. Doesn't matter.
Balance, when you're looking at this, the number two, how do you balance short term versus long term in terms of what you're looking for when you know, whether it's, you know, putting Shedeur there or, you know, bringing Bailey up or whatever?
I think it's really important to stay in the short term, you know, when you're making these type of decisions or any decision for your team. You know, what's most important is this week. Obviously, we have long-term development plans for all of our players at every position, but really this week is what's most important.
Just coming back, obviously he's done a great job on the field. Just what have you seen from him? And, you know, like at what point did you feel comfortable really being able to lean into him offensively?
Yeah, I think, again, going back to the previous point, these young players will just get better and better. And I think Q's a great example of a guy that, you know, we've tried to not put too much on his plate in that first game or the second game, but slowly bring him along. And I think every step of the way he's answered the bell. He's got a great demeanor on the field. He's got a great demeanor around this building in terms of his intensity to this football team. And, you know, he's a guy that, again, we're counting on. He's a big piece of our system.
We're in the division a long time with Aaron Rodgers. What do you make of his game right now?
Yeah, outstanding football player. Might be the best thrower of the football I've ever seen, just from the arm talent, the skill that he has. I have a ton of respect for what he's done in his career. Playing at a high level right now, extremely accurate, has a good feel for what they're doing, allows his receivers, tight ends, running backs to get good yards after the catch. He's playing at a very high level.
That you're going to be able to get this passing game up and running, especially with Jerry kind of struggling a little bit. I mean, how can you get this rolling?
Yeah, we just have to work at it, Mary Kay, and just understand that it's a precision necessary type of thing, and we need to be precise about everything we do. That's certainly from a coaching standpoint, from a player's standpoint. We just got to make sure we're all doing our job, and those things take care of themselves.
Couple more. The 10 takeaways that the Pittsburgh defense has forced. How like what do they do well? I guess with that, from what you guys are seeing. So
Yeah,
far?
they've always done an outstanding job taking the ball away. I think it's 5 interceptions, 5 fumbles, if I'm not mistaken. They can come in droves. They get their hands on balls in their spot drop zones. They certainly attack the football when they're tackling. So and last week was very similar against the Vikings, where you have to be always aware as a ball carrier, whether you're any position, you're a punt returner, kick returner, you name it, they're coming to attack the football. So ball security technique is at an absolute premium when you're going against them.
You said you talked to your veteran leadership about the Flacco trade. Could you talk to the QB room specifically on what this means for them?
Yeah, I won't get into specifics, obviously, with conversations with our guys, but yeah, I mean, when these things happen, you know, they happen fast, and you gotta sometimes you gotta wait till it's official, quote unquote. So yeah, and then you have some conversations with your guys and just let them know what this means moving forward.
Sort of developing. You say you were caught by surprise, but I mean, was it almost like phone call? I mean,
yeah, I don't remember the exact timing, but again, these things when it comes to trades, they can come together very, very quickly. This is one of those that is under that. So again, we're focused on what's in front of us, and that's really all we can think about right now.
Has Shedeur kind of pleaded his case with you a little bit and said, hey, I'm ready, give me this chance, I really want to do this?
Yeah, again, all conversations I'd keep private with our guys. But, I think it would just, the big picture there, Mary Kay, for me, is all of our guys are working so hard, and they do a great job of keeping, the main thing. And for any young player, what's important is just being where your feet are.